this episode, I'm going to share with you the importance of making sure that you grow through this second lockdown, to make sure that you have the opportunity to come out the other side healthier, happier, stronger, fitter, better business, more focused mindset, making sure that actually your business can grow and stay focused rather than worrying about what's going to potentially be on the other side. You know, we were told last time we went into lockdown that it was going to be for a month or 2 months, and all of a sudden 6-7 months later we were hit. And this is what I think, in my mindset, I'm planning for the worst case scenario, that we're going to be in this right up until Christmas. I don't know how you feel about this too, let me know, but they did this before and I believe they're going to do it again. We have got Christmas looming, we've got family time looming, we've got the opportunity to, kids being off school and everything else. I think by the time we get to the end of this 4 week that they're predicting, it'll run for another 2 or 3 weeks up till Christmas. And it's vital that you maximize the opportunity that is now sitting in front of you. And I'm going to be sharing what I'm doing in my brokerage and in my business and in my mindset, so that you can do the same things too. So let me know what you think, what your thought processes are and what your plans are. Make sure that you tell me and give me feedback, because the one thing that I'm going to be doing over the course of this next 4 weeks is I'm going to be getting back to daily lives, daily inspiration, daily help, support, coaching, mentoring, making sure that you keep this mind on top of the game, because that's the thing that's going to change it. So let's get into this, because this is where you need to really think differently. When I was building my business from 2006 up until 2015, I didn't get educated and I didn't realize that my mind controls every decision that I made. Now, during that first roller coaster, there were many ups and downs, and this is a down that we are about to go in, and we've already been in a down for the most part of 2020. But where I seem to really thrive is where I'm almost at the bottom of the barrel, where it's the roller coaster is at the bottom and there's only up is the only way left. Having been hit by the credit crunch in 2008, some of you may be listening to this and thinking, yeah, but it's all right for you, Gary. You've got a team of, 10 plus, you've got 9 advisors, blah, 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 blah. But it hasn't always been that way. And it's through making the mistakes that I did for such a long period of time that I want to share with you this information so that you don't make the same mistakes too. So a little bit of brief background, try to say that again, is, 2006 I went self-employed in November, December, or on the 1st of November actually. It's just been my 14th year as a self-employed individual, and I've been a business owner for 12 years. So, when I went self-employed, it was in the November. So I went self-employed at this time of year, knowing that I could make it a success, and I'm going to share with you how I managed to do that. The second thing was when we got hit by the credit crunch, and mortgages, I was specializing in adverse credit mortgages, fell off a cliff. They weren't available. So the next thing was, having to pivot and change. I'm going to share that with you. The next one was when I let my best friend buy into my business, who I'd been mates with, trained in the gym with, and he bought in 2009, and I subsequently bought him out in 2011. We built a team, we built it too fast, we recruited wrongly, and I had to downsize and start all over again in 2011 after I got married. The 2-week honeymoon gave me reflection time. And then in 2015, the last time that I started all over again was building an insurance brokerage that I hated, where the marketing was all wrong and I was trapped back to work 3 days after my first daughter was born, socially anxious, worried, cash flow, frustrated, because I was spending £20,000 a month on low quality leads. Now, this is only to inspire you to think differently, because the thing that I can definitely say, in the last, when I bought my business partner out in 2011, I was able to build a bigger business by 2015. My last employed role, I built a business for somebody else, which gave me the confidence to go self-employed. But the thing that I never realized, which is what you need to start thinking about, is allowing your brain space for some strategic thinking. More often than not, and particularly in some of my groups, there's so much negativity around. There's so much worry and dismay and fear, but the fear is what keeps you stuck. The fear is what's going to stop you being able to get to the other side and making sure that you allow your brain the space to be able to plan going forward. Now, I often reference football as a great analogy to link with business. You know, you could be the best player on the world, but it doesn't make you a great manager. You know, Alex Ferguson was probably one of the most successful managers in football ever, and yet he didn't play on the pitch with his players. And the reason why I say this to you is because as an employed advisor in financial services, it doesn't mean that you're going to be a good business owner, because the mindset is completely different. To think on the business rather than in the business takes a different skill set, one that I had to learn. I managed to have success multiple times over because I've always had a dad who was self-employed, which makes me very, very fortunate. And I was able to take the lessons and the insights from him to get a little bit of fast track. Plus, I've never been scared to fail. I've always been able to push through and take a lot of action, knowing that actually where the successes are on the other side of the potential of failure. So my first bit of knowledge for you is to think strategically, and I'm going to share with you my strategic thinking in this. So you need to make sure that you are focused on the next 8 weeks, is my belief. Thinking about where you're going to be in possibly the next 8 weeks' time. This is now going to be, worst case scenario, lockdown until Christmas. So how do you make the most of that opportunity? What can you do in order to be able to come out the other side stronger, with a better business, with more leads, with more sales, with better clients? Listening to all the negativity, paying attention to, what's going on in the news. The government are saying one thing, and then if you read scientific data, it's telling you something else. The only thing that you can do is focus on what you can control. My advice is do not listen to the news. Do not listen to the stuff that's on social media. Do not listen to the negativity people that are hanging around. And if you're hanging around with those types of people and you're seeing that type of stuff, turn your TV off, don't watch it, unsubscribe, unfollow, unfriend, whatever it is that gets your mind into a space where actually it can absorb better information. Because you put positivity into your mind, you're going to breed more positivity into your day-to-day. So that's the first thing, is strategic thinking, but also focusing on the mindset and the knowledge and the information that you are taking in and who you are hanging around with. Focus on what you can control, and you can control the outcome over the course of the next 4, 5, 10 weeks, however it might well be. I think it's 8 weeks till Christmas. So focus on that and the things that you can control. Number one, what I'm going to be doing is focusing on introducers. If there are lots of businesses out there now that cannot go to their offices, that need to change, that need to do something different, you have an opportunity to contact every single introducer in your local area. Now, I always reference building a lifestyle business. Short-term pain for long-term gain. This is the thing. Having built a business the wrong way for such a long period of time, not realizing about strategic on the business thinking, doing what I'd always done, acting like a really good insurance broker, not taking the time out to support the team, to coach the team, to mentor the team. Now, you may be thinking, I don't have time. That is a fallacy. That is rubbish. You do have time. If you actually took your diary and wrote it down and put in half-an-hour increments, everything that you do during a day, you will find time. It's about priorities. You need to understand that there are points where you have to make sacrifices. And this is what I've done in my journey over the last 4 or 5 years in order to be able to get to the point where I am now. And that's to have more time to be strategic. Majority of my job is strategic thinking for the business, along with marketing, along with inspiring the team, along with vision, mission, values, culture, etc. So you need to allocate. It could be a few extra long days. It could be making sure that your partner is bought into your business and where you need to go. There were points where I had to do 7-day weeks back in 2018 and 2019 in order to put a new system into the business. That short-term pain of working those 12-hour days, 7-day weeks, gave me back the freedom and the flexibility now when it comes to investing into the team. So the time analogy, making sure you focus on introducers. There is going to be accountants. There is going to be divorce lawyers. There is going to be people out there right now who are not able to go to their office, who are potentially going to have more time on their hands like what they did before. And if you didn't capitalize on the opportunity to make some phone calls, to get in contact with those people, to build your network, be it through social media, be it through online, be it through starting a Facebook group, having more connections with more people is what's going to get you more results. So building introducers, partnerships is one of the big things that has made a massive difference to my brokerage, my relationships over the course of the last 2-3 years. And I'm going to be focusing on that heavily over the course of the next 3-4 weeks. But not what I'm going to get from it. I'm going to be focusing on what I can do for the other people. So for example, if you've got an accountant, one of the best ways in which we attract accountants to refer to us as an introducer is the fact that if they're dealing with multiple different brokers and their clients are going to multiple different brokers, then the issue is they have to deal with multiple different ways of working. So by channeling it and funneling it, for want of a better word, through you, they're simplifying their process. They're making their life easier. They're having a better understanding of how things work. And that makes life a hell of a lot easier for them. Because all of a sudden, their time is reduced because they're not being pulled pillar to post by clients who don't have a clue and are getting fed information from multiple different sources. You all know that sole traders and business owners are looked at in two completely different ways. You can educate accountants on that, for example. You know, there's been many a divorce through this scenario, as I'm sure there's stronger relationships that have come out of it as well. But in that circumstance, how many divorce lawyers in your area have you built partnerships with? How many solicitors have you connected with? Who else has access to the clients that you absolutely love to work with that could refer to you, that are looking for a secondary income stream, that don't have to do anything other than love your clients or love their clients, for example? Now, this is where I think a lot of people in financial services get trapped because you have a fear about referring to any piece of business or any name and number to somebody else. I see it all too often in my groups. You ask questions about something that you've never done before, a bridging loan, for example. You've never done it. So why would you waste time trying to learn to do something where at the present time, you don't need to scrap for every deal. You're better off doing 5 first-time buyer mortgages, which is what you know exactly how to do, than wasting time learning how to do bridging finance at the present moment. Give it to somebody else, focus on what you can control, and do more of what you can do, which will take you half of the amount of time. And therefore, you'll still get 25% kickback from the person that you've referred it to. So, introducers is a massive area. Let me know if this is making sense to you as well, because I would love to hear your feedback and whether this is something that is going to, hitting the note in terms of what you can do to change your business. The second thing outside of introducers that I'm going to be focusing on is insurance. Now, here's a little issue-y one for you that may or may not hit a nerve. Mortgages are a trap. They keep you stuck. If I hadn't have built my life insurance brokerage up until 2015 the wrong way, with poor quality leads, paying lead providers who are multi-selling to different people, the thing that I love more about my insurance brokerage than I do about my mortgage brokerage, although it's not my issue anymore because I have 9 advisors, but the thing that I love more about the insurance world over the mortgage world is it's completely proactive. Insurance is a proactive environment. Everybody needs it, but not very few really want it. But the advantage of the insurance aspect is that no one's chasing you to submit their application, or very few are. No one is on your case 24/7. No one is pressuring you day in, day out. The day you want to go on holiday, which obviously isn't going to happen at the moment, but the day you want to go out with your family for the day, all of a sudden the mortgage offer goes tits up and your whole job is then focused on trying to sort that out rather than doing what you love with who you love. The insurance brokerage is completely proactive. It's providing quotations, it's providing illustrations. Everybody needs it, but nobody wants it. But the difference is you've not got estate agents calling you, you've not got solicitors calling you, you're not constantly at someone else's beck and call. It is about relationships. which is, I think, the big thing that, particularly in the mortgage world, IFAs, you are fantastic at this. You build relationships with your clients. It's not just about a transaction of this is the mortgage that you're going to be focusing on. It's about, let me look at you. Let me understand you, what your future is about, what goals and aspirations and dreams and wishes you have, what you want to do with your children. Are they going off to university and school and everything? And then focusing on, right, based on what you've told me today, these are the things that you need to have in place in order to make sure that your life doesn't change. The problem I see with majority of mortgage brokers is it's a transactional thinking. Now, this is only a percentage, and I know full well, I've trained trainees particularly. Learning mortgages and learning insurance is bloody difficult. You've got so many nuances. You've got first-time buyers, remortgages, buy-to-lets, HMOs, investments, bridging, boom, 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 boom. You've got a million different processes of fact-finding, new lead calls, researching, criteria hub, knowledge bank, keying AIPs, keying applications. There's so many components that newbies in the industry don't appreciate to be able to learn how to do the job more efficiently. Then if you chuck in the insurance advice, oh my God, it's like mind blown. You've got so many different insurers, you've got medical conditions, you've got all the little additions that get chucked onto the policy. But the big thing here is if you want to be the best mortgage broker, I am a firm believer that you actually become an insurance broker first, because it will always be your priority. Now in 2008, when the credit crunch hit, I had to stop doing mortgages, having built a business for somebody else during 2006, having gone self-employed in November of 2006. Then had 2 years doing my own mortgage brokerage as a sole trader, going from face-to-face to over the phone to then focusing on the insurance side of things. The big thing with the insurance is you just have to build relationships with clients. Use all the marketing techniques that I talk about and I talk about on this page, on my, the podcast channels, the YouTube channel. There is videos everywhere about marketing from me. There is podcast episodes everywhere about attracting leads. I've already told you about partnerships, but you can start to build more relationships with people, which is going to bring more leads into your business. Insurance is the area that actually you can make more money. Now, I know there's fear around clawback, particularly in these kind of uncertain times, but you've got the opportunity to take a small percentage of it on the drip. Oh yeah, but if I take it on the drip, then I'm never going to get the income coming in. So put a premium limit in place. Anything under £100 you take upfront, so therefore you have cash flow. Anything over £100 you take on the drip. Now, £100 is roughly £2,000 worth of commission. You could put it at £50 if you wanted to. But you just need to work out how many policies you need to sell on a weekly basis in order to be able to generate the income that you need and want. That's why my first step of my 6-step process is always about vision, because it's about what income do I need and what leads do I need to support that income. So insurance is an area that you can massively focus on, because that need and want doesn't change, but it also, you will have more time. I follow quite a few companies in America that have huge opportunities around insurance. And the beauty of insurance is it doesn't stop there, because you've got the trustees when you put the policy into trust and speaking to them to look at opportunities to help them. You've then got looking at potentially pension referrals. Let me say that again, pension referrals, and referring those over to other people as well. You've also got will writing. You can earn a great income being a will writer, but also referring business to a will writer who will also refer back to you to give you the opportunity to do more protection. There's just a thing where in a mortgage world, you wear this mortgage broker and mortgage advisor hat. But actually, if you start to take that hat off and you start to look as a financial planner or a financial coach or, whatever you want to classify yourself as, and start to look at the human and the individual and the other side of the transaction that they're coming to you for. You've got introducers as one big focus that you can go out and contact people. Business insurance is another big area. Key man, shareholder, relevant life, business loans. Accountants are going to have all that data. You've got insurances and all the different insurances. Health insurance is a massive one that particularly business owners or people with kids really need to get involved with. I was out for dinner with my wife on Saturday, and my kids are at my parents', and we've, for ages, and a little while ago, to be fair, during lockdown, my son got egg. He's only nearly 3 in January. My son got egg and wiped it over his face. And he literally came out in hives, like massive swelly eyes, everything. We phoned 111. There was an ambulance here within half an hour. And they said, you need to get an allergy test. Now he's at preschool. The preschool have said, you must get an allergy test. If he's got a flu jab, then he must have an allergy test. Well, Saturday night, we sat there in the restaurant realising that we need to book the doctor's appointment. So I went on my Vitality Health Insurance. Within 10 minutes, we had an appointment booked for Wednesday evening on my Vitality Health Insurance, which has got all the family on it, to go and to get on the phone and do it. You can upload the images that I took of the day that he had the swelling on his face. Everybody with children needs health insurance, is the point that I'm making. And this is just an untapped resource. It's an income that you can add into the business. It's annual renewable income. This is the same as general insurance, home insurance. You miss the ball by not chasing the annual renewable products, because it builds a better relationship and gives you the opportunity to speak to your clients more regularly. So focusing on all the areas of insurance, speak to your networks and find out what you can do. If you can't do health insurance, find somebody who can and open up the conversation and take a 25% kickback for referring it on. Now is the opportunity to build relationships with your clients and focus on getting more income in through introducers, through insurance, through referring out pensions, wills, health insurance. They're the things that I'm going to be focusing on. Now, I am fortunate that I've got the team, so we do a lot of that stuff in-house. Pensions we don't, but we refer out to somebody who does. He kicks it back for the mortgages, but also for the insurances, if it's our client originating. So we've got that in our contract. So you can change your opportunity over the course of the next 4 weeks. Some people are going to sit back and do nothing. Others are going to take every bit of information from this, and you may be one of those. You're going to take every piece of this and you've written down some notes and you're going to get cracking on it. Now is the opportunity to do things differently. Look at your business strategically and focus on the areas that you can control. Get rid of the naysayers. Focus on all the different products. Draw it out on a whiteboard in front of you. Put mortgage and then focus on every product and area that you can look at. Build relationships, not just with introducers that you could get leads from, but also with partnerships that you can actually start calling your existing clients back and saying, hey, haven't spoken to you in 18 months and you're on a 5-year fixed rate. I'm just giving you a call, see how you're getting on. Oh yeah, but I can see you haven't got this. And then try and get a referral for them over to whichever person it is. Because if you're able to get a kickback for doing absolutely nothing, then that's going to transform your income. You have a database of opportunity. You have a database of clients. Stop focusing on the transaction and start focusing on the future of your business by building better relationships with your clients. That is going to be our goal. If you don't know about the Kickstarter scheme, that is coming into effect. The Kickstarter scheme is effectively you get a person between the ages of 18 and 24. The government will pay for them for up to 6 months. You don't have to pay anything at all. They will even give you £1,500 for taking on the Kickstarter. And at the end of the 6 months, you have the opportunity to employ them full time or put them onto an apprenticeship scheme. We are getting 3. We should hear this week in relation to our registration. Obviously, I don't know what's going to happen in relation to this lockdown that we are now in, and we'll be finding out this week because it's still so fresh and we won't know. We'll be speaking to the Kickstarter people as we've been advised to work from home. But the whole thing is you can get people into your business to go back through and start contacting your clients. You can give them a script to do it. If you don't do this now, you will never do this. You have an opportunity. If you didn't maximize the last one, then you're going to miss out again. Plan for the worst and get shit done. That's the main thing that you should be focusing on. Write down a full list. Work extra hours. Take the chance now to transform your life, transform your business, transform your mindset. Think strategically. Do things differently. And if you're just tuning into this, then I urge you to go back to the beginning and listen all over again. Maybe listen to it a second time, because there's going to be little nuances that you're going to take from this, little insights that you're going to be able to put into your business that are going to transform absolutely everything for you. We are going to grow through this period as a business, as a team. We're going to come out stronger, and I want you to do the same thing. I'm going to be going live consistently throughout the lockdown every single day on my Gary Das Facebook channel, where you can come and like and turn the notifications to all, so you don't miss one and get notified of every single one. I'm going to be doing lots of podcast episodes to make sure that you're inspired and motivated, but the key thing is to make sure that you keep your mind in the right space. So if you have any questions on this, any fears, any anxieties, any worries, I do have a successful brokerage. I'm going to be reviewing our systems, our processes, our team, our lead generation, the people with on the team. We're going to be doing different marketing. I'm going to share some of that with you over the course of the next few weeks while this is happening. So if you have questions, then now's your opportunity to reach out, to ask, to get support, to get guidance, because this is one chance. So I hope that inspires you. I hope that motivates you. If you're listening live, then I would love you to comment in and give me a thumbs up if that's been a useful, however long this has been going on for. But I would love you to share this with someone that you think this could help, people on your team, whoever it might well be, because the more you can focus on your mindset, the bigger impact that's going to have on your business overall. So thank you very much indeed for tuning in this morning. Have a fantastic day. Remember, now's the time to become pro.